tonight. From CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks taking on Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the Miami Dolphins. Taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Here come the Seahawks. Time for that offense, and quarterback Russell Wilson to go to work.
Gave the commencement address at the University of Wisconsin a couple of years ago. One of the most popular players ever to pull on the uniform there. Beginning of his career, he was a so-called game manager. Take care of the football, rely on the defense. Now, in this stage of his career, the offense runs through him, and it runs very well.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Dancing to his left. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
It got his man complete.
What a play.
20,
what a play.
10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Dolphins now taking the field, led by the 5th overall pick back in April out of Alabama. Quarterback Tagovailoa.
I absolutely love this young man coming out of the University of Alabama because of what he did for the Crimson Tide. His last year there, 33 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions before the hip injury suffered in the middle of November. They want him healthy, obviously, because if so, one of the most accurate throwers coming out of college football in the last 10 to 15 years. And the Dolphins, they haven't taken a quarterback in the top 5 since a guy named Bob Greasy, now a Pro Football Hall of Famer. They took him back in 1967.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line.
Tua going to throw. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and inches.
First carry now for Jordan Howard. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Martin on the stop. A gain of
plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Howard. Bobby Wagner, the NFL's leading tackler in 2019, there on the stop.
Taken down by Bobby Wagner. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Tua wants to throw it on 2nd down. Now a loose football. The ball comes out.
Tagovailoa's pass complete to Jakeem Grant.
So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Tua, a give. This is Howard. Oh, Howard coughs it up. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback in the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. 3 yards to gain there, 2nd down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Sometimes I need a check. Not the sneakers, but the ones that make you watch your step. You change the name, how about your respect? You're the more than what I get expected, not the back. In fact,
that 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Wilson. Give him 2 yards on that play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
It's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Now it's Wilson. He'll find Valor out of the backfield. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38.
That's good.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
1st and 10 at the 38.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
Complete. It's now
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Wilson. That's complete. It's Carson out of the backfield. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
It's a gain.
I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
Wilson will throw again. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield.
Wilson's pass.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33.
It's 4th down.
Throwing again here, Wilson.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. On 1st, they go right back to Howard. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Jordan Howard, the ball carrier.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you...
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Tagovailoa's pass complete. A fumble on the
Okay, after those first 2 drives, I think there's a head coach who's going to be calling for CSI. They're going to want some forensics on this. What is going on with this ball club? Unable to hold on to the football and take care of it.
Yeah, 2 straight fumbles for them to start out.
Yeah, you would think that this team would come in ready to go. Sometimes just mentally not prepared, and it shows up in these types of plays.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 38. And he'll throw right away. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carson.
Complete to Chris Carson. It's a pickup of 6.
4 yards remain for 2nd down.
At the 44-yard line.
Wilson. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete.
3rd down and
now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Raekwon McMillan drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A gain of 6 there on 1st. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number 1, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
When I see Mike Gesicki make a catch, I'm reminded of his athletic ability and go back to the time we were leading up to the draft and showing his career highlights, including high school volleyball, where he appeared he was almost jumping over the net. I expect him to continue to grow in 2020, start to make progress in 2019. 5 touchdown catches and 570 total yards.
he was covered by Jamal Adams.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Tagovailoa. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. 2 and a throw again. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
For Preston Williams.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4.
1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. There's Wilson. He gets away from 1, and they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. Just the 1st quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 1.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield.
That's good for a
2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
1st and 10.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. He lets it fly for Lockett. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 51 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
And it's good to make it 14-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is Jakeem Grant. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Miami set to take over. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable.
Oh, now Breida loses it. Well, I think a Dolphin was able to fall on it. Yes, they'll keep possession here.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
A 7-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Out of the gun on 3rd down. Here's Tua. Completes it to the tight end Smythe. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. On first down, they run with Howard. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. On the delay, it's Howard. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by the Seahawk defense. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. L.J. Collier. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Running with Howard. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to zip through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. eluding the pressure right. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Pretty good job escaping the pressure. Gets him 15 yards on the scramble, but now it's 4th down. Tagovailoa going for it on 4th down. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful to get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
On the tackle.
Bobby McCain here, the one who brings him down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 29-yard line.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
The tackle.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3.
3rd and
They run it with Carson. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football...
Keep running, man!
All the way in, touchdown Seattle. Chris Carson, 65 yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Now Myers for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Jakeem Grant now to return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10. At their own.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they do the interception and finish off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Nothing.
Tagovailoa to throw on 2nd down here. He's got it to Williams. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
A gain of 12. 1st down, Miami.
On 1st down, it's Howard. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 43-yard line.
On 2nd down, Tua. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try to run forward with Howard. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist to the referee, and that means 4th down.
A gain of a yard.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and
the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Short throw to Disley. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on 4th down. Short throw to Disley. He cannot wiggle free. They stop him at the line on 4th down. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
Howard, the ball carrier.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Ball resting on the 10-yard line. It's 2nd and 1. Looking to pass to him. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Tua finding Gesicki there for a Dolphin first. Try to punch it in with Howard. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead. That seemed like a much-needed touchdown after 21 unanswered points to start the game.
It's not often that you equate a football game to a golf tournament, but it's like you don't want to shoot yourself out of the tournament too early. So they needed that touchdown to make sure that they got an opportunity to not just get back into this game, but a chance to win it later if they continue to play well.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And finishing it off with a touchdown run was Jordan Howard. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Takes it at the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
At their own 28-yard line.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. He'll drop to throw. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Brandon, how about that reaction there from a defensive end? Able to recognize the screen pass trying to happen, broke off his pass rush, and then get back to tackle the running back. That's a very athletic and intelligent play. Reminds me of you working out and seeing that the treadmill's open and getting there before anyone else.
See, I know you're just patronizing me right now. Everybody knows at home that that is nothing but a shot at me, and I'll take it, absorb it, and we'll move on. 3rd and long. It's Wilson being chased out left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. Getting set to go again on offense, here's Devontae Parker now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. This is Howard on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Carry there by Jordan Howard, and we all know he started his career in Chicago and was a 2-time 1,000-yard rusher. Spent 2019 in Philadelphia battling injuries, but when he's healthy, can be a flat-out workhorse and can break down defenses.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory.
At the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
On 2nd down now, it's Howard. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Chris Carson trotting back out there. He's in his zone. 2nd quarter already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 29-yard line.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Good for us.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Wilson.
And incomplete, an excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But 2nd down instead. To throw again, Wilson. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Big Shaq Lawson gets the sack there. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Under the category of obvious, you hate giving up a 1st down on 3rd and long. And somehow, he finds his way downfield and picks it up.
Yeah, if you look at the coverage defensively, oh, this is great, but no one accounted for him at the quarterback spot.
At some point, you actually have to tackle it and get him on the ground short of the 1st down marker.
He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down.
It's 2nd and inches.
From the shotgun, Wilson escaping the pressure right. And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Trying to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
First and 10 at the
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over, and they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. Tua once again here on 2nd and 10. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
incomplete.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
And it's caught by Parker. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and oh so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for first and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Howard all alone in the backfield on second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Jordan Howard with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins have got it back to a 1-score game. CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Sanders now to add the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And finishing it off with a touchdown run was Jordan Howard. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken in at the 3. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
You'll be hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson buying time to his left. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The improvisation gets him only a couple, but that's all he needed. First down. First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And this will leave him a yard Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his fifth catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up here at halftime, we'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first-half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. A gain of 6 there on first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 32-yard line. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
At the 32-yard line.
That was just a good example of taking what the defense gave him. No one opened downfield, knew where his safety valve was, swung it out to him. He gets upfield and picks up the first down. Well done all the way around.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Carson. A 6-yard pickup brings up
Working with his 2nd and 4.
the 25-yard line.
Here's Wilson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Now he'll pull it down, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Second down. It's Carson. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number 1.
First and goal at the 2-yard line.
So we are at halftime here on a Monday night, as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports halftime report. Back and forth, we win in that first half. This has certainly been an entertaining one to watch thus far. So let's get right back out to it, as we'll rejoin our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. Grant sets to return it. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 27.
Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Tua wants to throw it on second down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver, but now it'll be third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He's airing it out for Williams, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 42-yard line.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
He was tackled at the...
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line.
No gain on the play.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt.
At their own 30.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's...
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. What did you see there, Charles, on that interception from the rookie?
They've shown him certain looks on defense throughout the first half, and they pulled the string here in the second half because he got used to those looks, and they showed the exact same thing, but changed it up just a little bit where he thought something was open, and now, with the change in defense, it no longer was.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now Wilson on 1st down. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
But there's a sight that fans were used to seeing a little bit more earlier in his career. Just 3 rushing touchdowns last year for Russell Wilson. He's had as many as 6 in a season. I think he's a lot more selective, a little more judicious about running the football now, but still scares the heck out of any defense when he decides to tuck it and go.
He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Here comes Grant on the return. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Miami set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They run with Howard. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11 now.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 23-yard line.
On the delay, here's Breida. And he loses the football a second time. And the Seahawks have picked it up. The 40. Past the 20. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. Seahawks. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And the Dolphins are going to recover.
Onside kick is recovered by Miami.
On 1st down, here's Breida. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And down to the 7-yard line. That one good for 37 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Tua going to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
3 yards to go on second down, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. Jumbo set. Here's Tua. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Complete. A fumble on the play.
Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Kyle Van Noy coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4. Now Wilson down around his goal line. Short throw to Disley, and they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Makes it third
and he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Jerome Baker in there to get him. That is the 6th time that they have sacked him tonight. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation. Maybe even...
And oh, my goodness, he loses it again. But I think a Dolphin was able to fall on it. Yes, they'll keep possession here. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
17.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far.
A gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there and a first down.
Brandon, a lot of times you'll see running backs rotate in and out of the game, whether it's completed pass, a good run, it doesn't matter. Here, not only does he stay in, but they go right back to him, and he makes another nice play. Back-to-back catches.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Stepping up, he'll try and run. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Brings up 3rd down and 6.
They run again with Carson. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Carson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Wilson on the keeper. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and goal.
Hey, give him credit. That's a good, solid game there on the sneak because it all comes together. Enough space, get forward, gain yardage. Well done.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to go down. This will count as a sack, a very short sack, taken down at the 2. Jerome Baker able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
When you're this close to the
under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Jerome Baker bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
So they have now gone for it on 4th 4 times, and they have converted no times.
I know we talk about analytics and how it's entered into the game, and there's a good percentage that says, go for it, you actually make a good percentage. In this case, the analytics just went right out the window. 0 for 4. They've got to start looking at things in a different way. Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. And that's a big miss. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Back at the 40.
To throw is Wilson. Throwing on 3rd and long. This complete to Lockett. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Dolphins drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Gain of 14.
The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to change it to a run, and that gets it done in a big way as well.
Tua now on first down. Tua hit, and the ball is out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown.
Jason Myers to kick off for Seattle.
And the Dolphins are going to recover.
Onside kick is recovered by Miami.
Tua now on first down. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off at the 36.
The first down.
Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Despite being 0 for 4 converting these so far, I guess you're going to say 5th time's the charm. They're going again on 4th down.
How about some applause for the...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Christian Wilkins. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position.
Now, you know I don't often have sympathy for quarterbacks, but in this situation, I don't know what else he could do. 4th down, so he can't just throw the ball away. He's got to find a way to try and make a play, but the pressure ended up getting to him.
Pressure got to him. Really big sack and a turnover here on downs. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
And oh, it's complete. What a catch at the 7. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter.
Dolphins 17.
Heavy on the edges. 54.
Tagovailoa. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Benson Mayoa. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. On the handoff, this is Howard. And he loses the football a second time. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
So crisis averted, but now facing 3rd and goal. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
Intercepted.
Out comes Chris Carson of the Seattle offense. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
And 10.
On 3rd down, it's Carson. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. They run for it with Carson. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. So a risky move that does not pay off. And, Charles, you take it from the defensive perspective, they had to be a little offended there that they even tried to go for it back inside their own 20.
Highly offended. And they took the ball away and gave it to their offense in a great situation. But when you look at this thing in total, when you start taking chances like that, you know what that means? You have to take more chances later, right? When you don't convert.
And I think the ball's out, and that will get out of bounds. Lucky there. They keep possession inside the 5.
A fumble on the play. Out of bounds. The offense retains possession.
Now Tua. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mike Gesicki, but it'll be 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Tua setting up shop to throw again. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Now it's Carson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Tua and the rest of the Dolphin offense heading back out. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one.
2 yards.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Jordan Howard.
Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
It's a gain of 2 yards. And it's 3rd.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. It's complete to Grant. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line.
Complete.
The Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Setting to throw on first down is Tua. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Tua. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And again, it's Tagovailoa. He's got a 1st down and more past the 30. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 30. 10. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Jakeem Grant, 83 yards. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays. But the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback, and when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that'll cut the lead down to 18. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken in at the 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. He gives it off to Carson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line.
The tackle
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
16 yards, a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
31 yards there and a 1st down.
As many games as the two of us do, I would hope that one day we'll be able to solve this riddle. Why is it on a hot day that one team has more trouble with the heat than another, and especially when you can't stop a guy running the ball?
You know it's September in the booth, though, when you and I have both removed our coats, and those were gone in the 1st quarter.
They were gone in the 1st quarter, and what we're watching now is a defense mentally giving in and sagging a little bit because they haven't been able to stop him.
Just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield, but as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock. Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Wilson flushed out right, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawks touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run, and the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. The quarterback run has eaten him up all game long, and there he goes again, this time into the end zone.
And what I like about what I'm seeing, absolutely running almost with impunity. He's not worried about his body. He's not worried about sliding. He's not worried about protecting himself. He's worried about getting yardage. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, you've got to start figuring out what these blocking schemes are and finding ways to defeat them.
And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So that one, an 8-play drive, it spans 75 yards. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. Oh, this is a touch cruel here. They've got the big lead. Now they're going for the jugular with the onside kick. And the Dolphins are going to recover.
Onside kick is recovered by Miami.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free.
Take off your helmet and give me a kiss next time.
And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
First down pass.
What did you see on that one? Rookie mistake or just good defense?
It was a combo plate, but the rookie quarterback, he'll take it all on his shoulders, and the frustration level is evident. You can see it with him. You know, if that's a veteran quarterback, he walks off like he just threw a touchdown pass because he doesn't want to show that to the defense. The young guys, they take it more to heart. It's on their sleeve a little bit. He'll learn as he goes along how to hide his emotions.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawks touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Seahawks capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Ooh, a little cruel here. They're going to go for the onside kick up big. And the Dolphins are going to recover.
Onside kick is recovered by Miami.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant. That'll bring up 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Looking to pass. Tua. And this is caught. It's Parker. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
First down.
On 1st down, Howard. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11.
Dolphins ball carrier.
It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
They go with Howard again. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
And the pressure gets to him again. Jamal Adams on the safety blitz, too fast to handle. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Kyle Van Noy in on the stop.
2nd and 10.
They'll keep it on the ground. Carson. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed.
Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And now a high kick trying to pin him back. Now a fair catch is called for and taken a few yards across midfield. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10
on their side of midfield at the 47. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Out of the gun on 3rd down, here's Tua. And that is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Devontae Parker, 53 yards. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead.
Obviously, the scoreboard right now is not the friend of this rookie quarterback, but, hey, a touchdown pass there maybe builds a little confidence.
Every rep is valuable when you're a rookie. Every time you step up and throw the football, there's a lesson to be learned. Yeah, he took advantage of a little bit of loose coverage there with the lead, but at the same time, got it done. It'll take a little bit of satisfaction away from that throw.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This one taken just inside the 10. And he returns this to the 22.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out, and no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. A gutsy decision there at this stage in the second half in their own territory, and a decision that they might regret.
Can't wait for the postmortem. You know, this post-game press conference, because the questions are going to come fast and furious about this decision, no matter how the game turns out, right? What were you thinking there? Why? Did you have a certain play call? Were you confident in your defense? Oh, yeah. Why? It's going to keep coming up.
Yeah, no matter the scoreboard, just tough to justify. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Dolphins are able to draw a bit closer.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Sanders on for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to 18. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them, and plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have.
Onside kick is recovered by the Seahawks.
Dominated, boys, dominated.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive.
55 miles.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Rolling to his left. Throw left side complete. That's Carson. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. And now they're in the hurry-up. On third down, Wilson rolling to his right. And he fires one, but incomplete. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And how about this, a fake? But he will not make the first down marker. That'll be a turnover on downs.
38-yard line.
And out come the Dolphins now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. So erase the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking like the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
He was looking to get it to Parker again, and it's 3rd and 4. Tua gonna throw.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers. Nice snag by Devontae Parker. While it took him 5 years in the league to have his first 1,000-yard season, he broke out in a big way. The former first-round pick had career highs across the board in 2019. In fact, his touchdown total for the year equaled his career total to date.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. On second down, Tua. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds, 19 left. Marquise Blair, second-round pick from Utah, there to bat it away. Big play coming here. It's third and goal. Tua sets up to pass it. Going for it all. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Intended for Devontae.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on fourth and goal.
And goal.
They're going for it. Here's Tua with it. Yeah, that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on fourth down, this is a big call. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And now here is another interception. Picked off inside the 5. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. After the interception, here's Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13.
Final score, Seahawks.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.